Let's go to Las Vegas. Anthony, Independent.
Hi, good morning. This is an issue right here that really made me leave the Democrat Party. And as a black American, I've never heard one Democrat explain how it makes minorities richer and better off by importing all these people into the country. But they still continue to push this. I was out of work for many, many years. I got a master's degree in electrical technology, and a lot of the work that I do was taken over by illegal immigrants. I'm a union member, and I'm a person that actually lines up with what should be a lifelong Democrat, but not anymore, not the way they're pushing this. I mean, it's gotten ridiculous. It's hurting America. It's hurting our inner cities. I mean, we have homeless Americans sleeping on the street.
Okay, I'm going to jump in, Congressman.
Well, I agree. What you'll hear is, well, as the population grows, the economy grows, and that's true on a macroeconomic scale. But when you bring in large numbers of unskilled workers, the people who are hurt the most are those who are just trying to start out on the ladder of success here in our country. And again, that's why it is so important that countries control their borders. It's not that we want to keep immigration out, but we want to assure that people who come to our country are going to be contributing to it and not taking from it. The best figures I've seen on the cost of illegal immigration, just in terms of taxpayer-supported programs, is over $100 billion a year. That's a significant strain on our economy. But as I said, what it really is doing is undermining the foundation of legal immigration. And let's never forget, there are millions and millions of legal immigrants who have obeyed all of our laws, who have waited patiently in line, who have done everything our country has asked of them to do. And while they're doing that, they're watching millions of people try and cut in line in front of them. That's just not right.
Jeff is in Laurel, Mississippi, a Republican. You're on the air with the Congressman.
Good morning, Congressman C-SPAN. I'm going to make a suggestion. The southern three countries that's coming across up through the southern border of Mexico is our first point of refugee. They should stay there. We should pass the law that we use against Cuba when they touch the ground in the United States. They used to be allowed to stay, but they changed the law. So if you touch the border of the United States from Cuba, you get sent back automatically. So
that policy has changed?
I'm not familiar with that law. You may be right. I'm just not familiar with it. But you're absolutely right on the question of asylum policy. If an individual in Guatemala actually is being persecuted by their government because they belong to a specific group and they cross into Mexico, they've now achieved asylum. They have separated themselves from the government that has been oppressing them. Their right is to apply for asylum in Mexico. It's not to go country shopping to find the one that they most want to go to. As I said, just because you live in a country that is suffering poverty and violence does not give you a right to enter ours. That's the paradox of immigration. Every country develops unique principles, unique governing institutions that create certain conditions. The more successful those countries are, the more desirable they are to move to. That's what drives immigration patterns. But here's the paradox. If you open your borders, you end up destroying the unique principles that drove that immigration in the first place. And history offers us many, many examples of countries that could not or would not enforce their borders. They simply weren't around very long, and I certainly hope that is not the epitaph of what Abraham Lincoln called the last best hope of mankind on this earth.
We've got a few minutes left here with Congressman Tom McClintock. We'll go to Rose in Chicago, a Democrat.
Yeah, good morning. One thing, you know, all these Democrats that call on the Democrats line and then that they say they were lifetime Democrats, but they're not anymore. They shouldn't be allowed to.
Okay, Rose, we got to move it along because the House is about to come in early today. So what's your question or comment for the Congressman?
Right. As far as the legal, you support legal immigration. Well, you've been in politics since you've been 23 years old, Mr. McClintock. Regardless, legal immigration, the H-1B visas back in the 90s, the importing nurses from the Philippines, shutting down nursing schools in the United States. You imported the Filipinos for our nursing. As far as can you imagine?
But Rose, your point is what?
In jobs.
Okay. Point is people, Republicans, I guess, liking immigration when it suits industry's needs, but not when people are coming here to seek a better life.
Immigration should be regulated in a manner that improves our country. And immigrants for generations have improved our country. But the reason we have immigration laws and borders is to assure, as I said, that they are coming here with a sincere desire to be Americans, with something that can contribute to our country, and they're coming in such numbers that they assimilate into our society rather than become isolated, balkanized communities that do not assimilate. As I said, you can only create one country from all the countries of the world, which is what we are. We are a country built from all the countries of the world. The only way that holds together is through assimilation, and that's what our immigration laws are designed to serve.
Congressman, as we said, the House coming in early today, 9 a.m., so here in just a minute.
Hide the silverware.
H.R. 1 is the vote that you are taking today, dealing with ethics and voting, et cetera. It's a broader bill. How will you vote and why?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I spoke out against it on the floor the other day. This is a very frightening bill. Consent of the governed is a bedrock principle, and we apply that through our elections. It is absolutely essential that those elections be nonpartisan and free and fair. What this bill does is muzzle free speech. It has the opposition of the American Civil Liberties Union as a result. It expropriates taxpayer money for supportive candidates that those taxpayers might abhor, and it breaks down the laws that assure that the integrity of the ballots that are being cast.
And we got to go to the floor. Congressman, thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.